top.
Here's Austin Seibert now to get this one started. And off we go from Northwest Stadium in Landover. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he is just absolutely marvelous to watch throw a football. That's something I could do all day long, watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when there are bodies on the field, and he's creating with big throws downfield.
Herbert on the first play wants to pass it. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And this is taken in at the 5. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
Breaking the huddle, first and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. J.K. Dobbins. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes the score 7-0. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
To the air goes Daniels. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 7 yards there and a first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Daniels. Open man is Noah Brown. It'll be a gain of 5, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
2nd and a couple. To throw is Daniels. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a 1st down. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. Escaping the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Here's Daniels. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
On the move to his left. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jaden Daniels taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Commanders are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. I'm pretty sure that was a passing play, but he took off pretty quickly and ran with it.
Love his decisiveness on it because you're exactly right. He was supposed to go back in the pocket and survey the field and throw the football. But when that hole opened, he just said, forget it, let's go. And boy, did that work out well.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. A 10-play drive that time, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense They just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And that is incomplete here.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Herbert. He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16. He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created.
Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
These two teams all tied after one. Charger football to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnston. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Herbert. He's got another one to Johnston. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From the 5, here's 2nd and 2. Herbert now. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Quentin Johnston, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there, tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Dicker now to tack on the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was Quentin Johnston who finished that drive off with a touchdown grab. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Two minutes gone by, second quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Quentin Johnston and the offense back to work. He's already approaching 100 yards and has the touchdown. I'm sure on that opposite sideline right now, they're scratching their heads saying, all right, what do we do?
And the hard part is, even if you limit him to a short catch, he has that make-you-miss ability to take it for big yardage and put in the end zone again. So trying to blanket him is very difficult, but ultimately, you've got to find a way to put him on the ground, tackle him, and he doesn't make that easy.
They're struggling with that so far. Just a gain of a couple there, and that's going to bring up second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Second down, 8 to go from the 28. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now Daniels. On the catch, it's Crowder. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Daniels looking to throw. Toward the sideline, and he will have the 1st down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll look to throw again. Steps away to his left. And he's taken down inside the 30. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Brandon, you know I'm all about quarterbacks protecting themselves, but I have to admit it, I liked what I just saw there. That rookie wasn't afraid of absorbing a big hit. Now, you don't want to see him taking those shots all game long, but he picked up the 1st down, kept fighting for yards, and was willing to embrace some contact to keep the play moving.
Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Joey Bosa able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Daniels. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback because that was awfully close.
From the gun on 3rd down, Daniels. And that is incomplete. The LA defense up the snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Seibert's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Commanders up first on offense as we begin this third quarter. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Daniels. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Joey Bosa, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10. Right at the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
From the gun, Herbert on third down. Now a deep one for Johnston. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Marshawn Lattimore right there on the coverage. He was draped all over it.
I've got a good friend in football who always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach, trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Robinson up the middle. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Daniels dancing to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play. And they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it. And he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now it's Herbert. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Dante Fowler in on the stop. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Third and 2. They'll go again with Dobbins. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the fourth quarter. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 64 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Here's a give to Dobbins. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
In motion, the tight end. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Dobbins once more, and he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Extra point try now from Dicker. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Joey Bosa, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. They're giving those short little routes, tackled him in bounds too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
To the air goes Daniels. Airing one out for Crowder. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Chargers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Getting to the ball that time was Jeremy Chin. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Another run here with Dobbins. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a 1st down as he stopped at the 48. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Now Washington down by 11. A little under 1:50 remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
Well, they're not going to go quietly. That's a big play right there. 2 scores down. They're not out of this, but they've got to move.
1 timeout at their disposal, but more pressing is the need for 2 scores, obviously. Here's 1st and 10. Got him in. It's Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
This is 1st and 10. To throw is Daniels. Ertz over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
Here's 1st down. Throwing now is Daniels. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful, and the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. 25 seconds to go. A must recover if they're going to have any chance. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go 10.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first. Now they're in a really bad spot.
Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout,
as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
Herbert to a knee, and that should just about write it into this one.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And this, not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours, right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer, Tim Karen, said, leave your watches on East Coast time. Every piece of information we got was East Coast Standard Time. Try to psychologically tell us what to do, as well as prepare our bodies the same way.
So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.